Sigolis Wakwait. Greetings and welcome everyone to the Iroquois Oneida History Channel. My name is Antonio Dockstader. I'm an enrolled member of the Oneida Nation of Wisconsin. So this channel is everything history about the Oneida people. And today's presentation is about the relationship between the Oneida and the Germans, and specifically the Germans of the Palatine. And it starts off that in 1709, the Great Palatine Migration began from Germany to the British colonies and England. In 1710, 10 ships leaving England carrying 2,800 Germans transported them to the Hudson River, New York. And they were supposed to work as indentured servants to work off their ship fare into the New World. They settled in the camps on both sides along the Hudson River and worked at the Robert Livingston Manor, where they created and cooked tar and pitch for naval storage. Around 1712, 6 Palatines approached the Mohawk clan mothers for permission to settle on the Mohawk River Valley. The clan mothers, moved by their stories of misery and suffering, granted them permission to settle in the valley. And in the spring of 1713, about 150 Palatines moved to the Mohawk Valley. And by 1718, 170 families of 580 people lived in that valley. In 1723, New York Province Governor William Burnett granted 100-acre leases to purchase land from the Mohawk to 100 head of families of Palatine Germans. And the German Flats settlement was established around 1723. The Mohawks and Germans enjoyed a good relationship and mutually helped and benefited each other, and they assisted each other with growing food and also with economies. George Clock, born in 1668, migrated to this area in 1710. His son Jacob Clock, born in 1701, was born in Germany also. George Dockstader, born in 1679, also immigrated in 1710 to the New York province. And lastly, George Herkimer migrated to the New York province. He was the grandfather of Nicholas Herkimer, who was born 1728 in the German Flats settlement. In 1755, Oneida voiced concerns to Sir William Johnson about the German Palatines living on their eastern borderland without paying for it. On November 12, 1757, the French army attacked German Flats, killing 40 Palatines and taking 150 prisoners back to Montreal. The Oneidas had warned them previously of the attack 2 days before, but they had laughed and slapped their buttocks, saying that they did not value this enemy. The Oneidas condoled them for their losses and buried their dead and offered food and shelter to all the survivors. In 1761, a German settler murdered 2 Oneidas and was murdered by an Oneida youth. And it says that that George Clock purchased a land claim that became a controversial patent from Philip Livingston's heirs, and it said that he had persuaded Mohawks with alcohol to sign a deed for land east of their village of Canajoharie, and later also included the village of Canajoharie. In January of 1762, George Clock frustrated Mohawk chiefs over the land dispute, and he threatened to evict white tenants who were currently renting on the disputed lands. In 1763, some Oneida supported Clock, and an Oneida named Hanyeri reportedly threatened some Mohawks of Canajoharie. The dispute involving the Oneidas may have actually been about who owned the land, whether it was the Mohawks or the Oneidas. Clock was a farmer, a trader who owned a store and a tavern next to Canajoharie. And in 1765, Hanyeri of the Oneida Wolf Clan founded the Oriska village. October 24, 1768, the Treaty of Fort Stanwix created a boundary line between indigenous and colonial settlements along Oriskany Creek, which was supposed to establish 2 miles each on each side of the Oriskany Creek where the village of Oriskany lay. August 27th, 1774, the Tri-County Committee of Safety formed, and by 1775 it comprised 4 regiments: the Palatine, Mohawk, Canajoharie, German Flat regiments, and they formed a brigade with the Albany County. October 5th, 1776, Nicholas Herkimer was appointed Brigadier General of the Tri-County Militia. On August 6, 1777, the Battle of Oriskany took place. Nicholas Herkimer led the Tri-County Militia to relieve Fort Stanwix, which was being attacked by the British, and was ambushed by Mohawk, Seneca, and British soldiers on the way there. Jacob Clark, formerly mentioned, became a colonel of the 2nd Regiment of the Tri-County Militia and participated in the Battle of Oriskany. He also was appointed chairman of the Tri-County Committee of Safety in 1777. So this just dictates a little bit of the relationship between the Germans and the Oneidas, and also some of the motivation of why the Oneida joined the colonials during the Revolutionary War, because they had relationships with the colonials, especially with the Germans. Heinrich had a son, Cornelius Dockstader, born in 1758, who was baptized by the Mohawk Reverend John Stewart, and his baptism sponsor was George Dockstader. And this is where the Dockstader name originated among the Oneida people, was his baptismal sponsor. And also the Oneida's issues of having their land lost to Sir William Johnson and the British helped create some animosity between the Oneida and the British, and I believe helped them choose their sides, since Heinrich was the war chief during the Revolutionary War and fought in the Battle of Oriskany. So this is just a short presentation on Germans and Oneidas. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you like the video. Yawanko, thank you. Onagiwa.